I think it's Tesla's world. Everyone else is paying rent. I think this is just the first phase of the growth story playing out.
Is Tesla losing its hold?
You look right now, they're going to be the only game in town. That's why you have GM, Ford, and others going toward Tesla. And I think today it's superchargers. Next is going to be batteries, and then eventually FSD AI. This speaks to our thesis similar to Apple on the services side. This is just the early stages of Musk and Tesla monetizing.
In this video, the penny is starting to drop. Dan Ives has updated his Tesla valuation model, allegedly, has a new price target, and saying a lot of things that really make sense. While we're on the subject of Tesla, Wall Street, and valuation models, over the weekend, Elon Musk posted a live demo of the latest build of FSD, version 12, complete end-to-end, trained purely on video, no heuristics. Absolutely fucking insane. I did not expect this to happen now. Of course, I'm not an expert on neural networks. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But my supposition was Tesla would solve FSD first with a cluster of heuristics, and eventually, over a long period of time, with even more data and a shit ton more training compute, be able to do a complete rewrite. I was very wrong on this, as we see from this demonstration. The capabilities of this software are utterly stunning, and the implications of this being trained just on video, without here's what a traffic light is, here's what a roundabout is, here's what you do with the cyclist and pedestrian, are insane. More than 11 million people have watched this live demo. That's a lot. Of course, it would have been much better if Elon had instead spent the weekend approving some advertising campaigns to run in some conventional mainstream media outlets to sell more Tesla vehicles, right? Would have been much better use of his time. Anyway, back to the topic of Wall Street. My tweet. The litmus test as to whether a single analyst on Wall Street covering Tesla is fit to do so will be what they publish or fail to publish on Monday regarding the FSD demo. This is a watershed moment. No heuristics. This is really, really, really a big deal. Like I said, I thought it would be years before Tesla got to a stage where they had software that could drive a vehicle as capably as we just saw in this demo without a pile of instructions and rules around how to drive, what a road is. I followed up in regards to what I expect from Wall Street. I expect either tumbleweeds, aka absolutely nothing, because they don't get it, or something like this. Name, dirt, roll, automotive anal cyst. Oops, that must have been a typo. Totally wasn't intentional. Title, Elon Musk's FSD demo. Summary. We fail to see why this matters and urge investors to consider that Cruise and Waymo are light years ahead of Tesla. Rating, equal weight, price target, whatever Tesla's stock already is. And one of my subscribers replied, I think he has something to do with Tesla FSD. Yeah, I've been working on this for 8 years, and still the results of end-to-end pure video AI blow my mind. Makes two of us. And I really do want to emphasize this. I know I've been repeating myself in the last few videos. I can't fucking believe what I've seen. This demo is stunning. This is why I made the tweet. If analysts get it, they're going to be mopping up an absolute mess on Monday and then publishing a note. Holy shit. But I suspect, at best, mostly tumbleweeds and a few folks, we don't understand what we saw. Price target remains unchanged. PS, Cruise and Waymo are ahead of Tesla. As I've mentioned, I did believe at some point Tesla would completely rewrite their software. Just train it on video and its ability to drive would emerge. But I really genuinely thought this was years away. I thought we'd need not only a lot more data, but a significant amount of additional compute to get there. I thought that's the ultimate end destination, but it's years away. So in the meantime, Tesla got to cobble together what they can, code in a bunch of different rules, heuristics, solve it to a reasonable level. Then over time, streamline, simplify, remove some code, integrate, merge, and then eventually end-to-end video. The fact that this has happened now is such a watershed moment. There are no more roadblocks. There's no more chance of Tesla being stuck in a local maximum in terms of capabilities. Previously, with all these competing bits of code, different heuristics in there, you have noise, conflicting signals, an absolute mess. But I figured, with enough data, Tesla can bash their head against the wall, they'll eventually solve the problem. This is why I've massively doubled down now on my prediction of the first Tesla robotaxi happening in 2024. My confidence in this prediction has increased significantly. I now give it an 80+% probability. And again, the single most important thing in terms of moving Tesla's valuation this decade, in my opinion, is the solving of autonomy. There's no more roadblocks in the way. It is just a matter of time. The path is clearly lit now. So again, I highly encourage everyone watching to pay attention to what we see or fail to see from Wall Street come Monday, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday if they need a little bit more time to think and do some spell checking on their note. And while I'm here, guys, I do highly encourage you to subscribe over on X. I post early access to every single daily YouTube video. If you want to see it a few hours early, head over to X, subscribe. Plus, I post a bunch of exclusive content there as well. I think the archive now of exclusive videos on X is 35, 36, 38 videos and counting.
Is Tesla losing its hold?
Well, if by losing its hold you mean strengthening its tight grip on the nuts of the entire automotive industry, then the answer to that question would most certainly be yes.
I had on Hatem Diab from Gerber Kawasaki, and he was always a big Tesla, Elon Musk fan, and he said that a lot of the people calling into the office are just sort of questioning, after buying Twitter, distracted by SpaceX, that there's a lot of competition for Tesla. I mean, you look at Barron's, they were talking about BYD and the market share there, and Tesla being 4 times behind. Is Tesla losing its hold? I know you love Tesla for a long time. A lot of people love Tesla. It's been fun to watch. At 232. It's a battery company too. It's not just an auto company. Where do you think Tesla's headed?
I think it's Tesla's world. Everyone else is paying rent. I think this is just the first phase of the growth story playing out.
On this, I most certainly agree. Stage 1, complete and utter domination of the global automotive market throughout the next decade or so. Stage 2, which will happen simultaneously, although it's going to take a while for a lot of people to see this happening. It's kind of obvious now, but most people don't see it as obvious. Complete another domination of the robotaxi market. Stage 3, which will also be happening simultaneously. Complete another domination of the global energy market. Stage 4, a little bit later on. Complete another domination of the useful humanoid robot market. And stage 5, the solving of artificial general intelligence. That's Tesla's essential roadmap as it stands today for the next 20-30 years. Of course, there'll be many new things that happen between now and then, but that's what I can see on the horizon. This is day 1. Most folks still have yet to understand how dominant Tesla will be just in electric vehicles, let alone autonomy, let alone energy, let alone the humanoid robots, and obviously the artificial general intelligence stuff. People just don't seem to see that on the horizon. Could be a decade or more before that one becomes obvious. Not sure if Dan and I are on the exact same page with stage 1. He may just be referring to electric vehicles and maybe autonomy, but either way, he's right.
Monetization that we're seeing on supercharger, eventually what we believe is going to be battery. You look at FSD, that's the golden goose in terms of AI. And obviously, look, the Gerber Kawasaki team, thought leaders when it comes to the view of Tesla. And Nicole, I think this is the get out the popcorn moment to where this is all heading in this green tidal wave that plays out. But remember, it's not just going to be Tesla. You're going to have success stories like Rivian. You'll have VinFast. You're going to have some of these transformational, the Fords, the GMs, obviously some of the European players. There's going to be many winners in this $5 trillion green tidal wave.
Yeah.
Sorry to rain on your parade here, Dan, but GM will most certainly not be among the winners in the EV transition.
And your bull case on Tesla, what's the bull case on Tesla?
We're 350 base case, bull case 400.
350 base case. I think I might have missed a memo. When did that happen? Serious question, by the way. Someone let me know in the comments below. I swear this is new.
And look, I think right now, the price cuts, those have worked phenomenally. And we love that strategy, even though 95% of those price cuts in the rearview mirror, you'll see overreactions, but it is hard to argue with what I believe has just been a master poker move by Musk.
Now a double dose of Dan, this time on CNBS.
It's really putting pen to paper and really doing the modeling from everything we've done over the last 4 to 5 weeks.
A little bit of missing context in this clip, that's all I could find, but it sounds like Dan's explaining his price target increase. Why? Because he's done some modeling. Good.
And you've talked about it when it came out for GM, others, the 313 area code going to Tesla. Now trying to model it out. I mean, and I think for investors, it's very helpful. We think conservatively, 10 to 20 billion per year. I think it's probably on the latter part by the end of the decade. I think it's significant. This is the next stage of monetization for the Tesla ecosystem.
Yeah. How do you get to those numbers?
And that's really going on and we have a whole model putting out, the percent of overall EVs that ultimately are going to be using the charging stations, what they're going to be charging per kilowatt hour. And then the important things, guys, that, most of the bears will say, well, today everyone just charges at home or they charge at their office. But it's also looking at now down the road, how many are going to be using these charging stations? And when you look right now, they're going to be the only game in town. That's why you have GM, Ford, and others going toward Tesla. And I think today it's superchargers. Next is going to be batteries, and then eventually FSD AI. This speaks to our thesis similar to Apple on the services side. This is just the early stages of Musk and Tesla monetizing.
Well, better late than never. This is good news. It sounds like Dan Ives and Wedbush are now modeling a few obvious pieces of low-hanging fruit that may or may not have been in my Tesla valuation model for a while. Check the link in the pinned comment to join Patreon if you want access. It's available to supporters at the investor level and above, including third-party supercharger access, and importantly, the licensing of FSD, which is going to be absolutely astronomical in terms of its impact on Tesla financials and, by proxy, its valuation. And after Elon's mind-blowing, pure video end-to-end FSD V12 demo over the weekend, as I said in yesterday's video, I'm doubling down on my prediction of the first Tesla robotaxi, most likely in California, but who knows, in 2024. I believe that's probably the moment, if not sooner, that's probably the moment that other companies jump on board and immediately or almost immediately start licensing the technology. Because if they don't, that may be the end of them. If you don't have autonomy, Tesla does. How do you compete?
Where are we on the roadmap of price cuts in terms of Tesla, which Elon Musk has clearly moved to put, growth ahead of profitability?
Yeah, and I think that's been the right poker move. And I think it's paid off significantly, especially in China. I think now, look, 95, 96% of those cuts we think are in the rearview mirror. And I think you saw maybe some overreaction last week, and you definitely seen a rebound as I think more investors are recognizing that. But right now, margins suffering at the cost of units. Now, I think that troughs over the next quarter or two and starts to rebound into next year. And that's the yin-yang that they're going to strike. But ultimately, it continues to be Tesla's world, and everyone else is paying rent in terms of overall EVs. And I think that's becoming clearer and clearer.
So in terms of the stock, it's up 10% this week. It's down 10% over a month. And the reason, I'm trying to get the correlation here between it and the NASDAQ. If the NASDAQ continues to have some trouble and big tech in general pulls back, this stock is going to be susceptible to that as well, don't you think?
Of course. Yeah. I mean, look, we continue to view Tesla as a disruptive technology company, not an auto player, right? But it's our view going the second half of the year. I think tech stocks rip high. I mean, it's my view that the new tech bull market has already begun. I think growth is going to exceed street expectations. And I think what we saw with NVIDIA, that's just the appetizer to what we're going to see with this $1 trillion tidal wave of spend over the coming years for players across the tech ecosystem.
I know, but man, these stocks are already up like 5 years worth in 6-8 months.
Did you hear that? Because I sure heard that. That's one of the most embarrassing things I've ever heard Scott say. And it's quite a high bar. The stocks, as in some tech stocks, are up 5 years worth in X amount of time. Oh, yeah. Scott, my friend, if this is how you think about a stock, it's up a certain amount. It's already up 5 years worth. What then does that mean that if it's up 5 years worth in a few months, then in the next 5 years, it's not going to go up at all because it's already gone up 5 years worth? Probably stick to talking about stocks rather than buying and holding them. This is nonsensical. What's happened is entirely irrelevant. What happens matters. For example, if a stock's up 5 years worth, I don't know, 35% or something in a few months, and that particular company begins printing insane amounts of money or continues to grow at an insane rate, what it's already done has no bearing on what it might do if investors recognize the opportunity there, the future earnings, and start buying. I can't believe he said that.
I mean, even with the pullback we've seen, a lot of these stocks are up minimum 30 to 35%. We can't just continue to suggest that they're going to, in your words, rip higher to no end, are we?
But it comes down to growth, and everything we see from growth across software, across chips, I think ultimately numbers, especially going to next year, accelerate 15-20% beyond where the street's modeling. And I think this is a 1995 moment, not a 1999, 2000 moment. I think start of the internet, and I think we are seeing the biggest transformation to tech that we've seen in 30 years. And that's why our view across the board, this is just a pause. It's halftime of this Super Bowl rally that we're going to see in tech going into the next 2 to 3 years.
I know, but at some point the air gets a little thin, no? I mean, look at NVIDIA. I mean, I know it's not, you don't cover it specifically like you do Apple, which people know, but, it's up 200% this year. It was up 50% in 3 months, and now it's having its pause, pullback, whatever you're going to characterize that as. I mean, what do you want these stocks to go up 60 and 70%? For the year?
Well, I mean, my view is, first of all, way overcorrected last year. I mean, that's our opinion. And I think now investors more and more going to 2024, 2025, looking at a cycle that we haven't seen in 30 years. Now, of course, rates, as you asked the professor, that's clearly going to be a headwind. But when I look across tech, when I look across software, cybersecurity, chips, I view this as a time where we view it as the start of a new tech bull market, not the time where we're hiding because of valuations. I think these stocks grow into their valuations over the coming years.
You guys and girls may have noticed that until this present moment, I haven't had a thing to say about NVIDIA stock. Why? I'm not Jim Cramer of YouTube. I'll leave that to other folks. However, I do want to point out an observation. NVIDIA's earnings recently skyrocketed. There's a lot of excitement around AI. People go, oh, shit, earnings are going to be high still for a long time because lots of people want the chips they make to train the AI models. Ooh, I'm going to buy some NVIDIA stock. Something similar happened to Amazon stock a while ago when people realized that Amazon Web Services was starting to and would continue to print insane amounts of money for years to come. And in completely unrelated matters, definitely no connection at all between those prior comments and this, you guys did see the V12 FSD demo over the weekend, right? I don't know why I mentioned that. It's totally irrelevant. Anyway, I think that's a good place to wrap up. See ya. Athletic Greens AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. Athletic Greens AG1 is an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, what do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect. Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity, stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. It certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar. You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point and something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy, everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, my biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy. Wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely, it's not that AG1, is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it, you'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, this is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, Snake Oil Salmon's sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro, when I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. And remember, there is a 90-day money-back guarantee. There's nothing to lose here. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. Get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link at the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links in the pinned comment. See you over on Twitter and or Patreon. And don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.